Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Dai Gyakuten Saiban. So, you may not realize this because this has been going up simultaneously, like every week, weekly and stuff, but it has actually been several months since I've recorded from DGS. The last video you saw was actually the last footage I was able to record until my 3DS died. So, if there's anything odd that's gonna end up happening during this recording, this is me trying to readjust back into playing this again. It took me a while just to even find where I was on the script still, with my very, very, very limited Japanese. So, if I'm a little lost on certain details, please understand it has been several months since I've played DGS, so I'm still trying to get everything back together. As far as I understand, we had just finished doing the joint reasoning in the last video, so now we're doing the outcome of that now. What is he saying? Oh, I guess she just poured tea on him, didn't she? Alright, okay, alright, we can do this, we got this. So then, the rug really did catch fire when the Quite. It happened in the blink of an eye. The second the fire caught on, the whole room filled with an amazing amount of smoke. I was caught between two different wild beasts, my wife and the fire. I imagine that's what hell would be like. I'm sure it would have been a riot to watch. Harsh. That's when things got even worse. The fire caught on to the furniture. I've hidden it behind the folding screen for now. You mean this? There's no need to hide it now, if you'll excuse me. Sherlock, please. Oh. That bookshelf was full of my favorite old novels, but my beloved books were swallowed up by the fire and went up in a poof of smoke. Yikes. And my wife, who was burning with anger, began throwing those books at me. That's quite a harsh situation that you found yourself in. I was chased to the window, all the while sustaining strikes from burning books. And I ended up losing not only The Lion King that I had been looking forward to reading, but also my old favorites. The Lion King? I knew you looked up to lions. That's not why I chose it. And so, thanks to the raging of a wild beast, he lost things that were important to him. It looks like Holmes-sama's deductions were right again. A baffling wonder of England is the only way to refer to it. In the midst of the fire, my wife's rage continued. That was a scene of true carnage. By the way, about what time was that? It was just when dinner was about to begin, 2 days ago at around 5 p.m. And just at that time, another fearsome incident was occurring outside the window. Unfortunately, an even more fearsome event was happening inside the window. It's entirely possible that the Great British Empire could have been falling to pieces outside that window. And I probably wouldn't have even noticed. It makes a point. Is that so? Something tells me what happened inside this house while the incident happening outside are connected. Even though it started off as none of it making any sense as to if it was connected at all. Home-san? Yes, what is it, Mr. Naruhodō? Now we have a pretty good idea of what went down here in the Garrett household, but just how does it connect to Soseki-san's case? Now, how could I possibly know that? Eh? I said from the beginning, didn't I? This lovely retired soldier is hiding something, but I have no idea whether it has any connection with your case. That was it. I knew it. Now, no need to get so upset, Mr. Naruhodō. You see, in this world, the only two things that exist are things that are related to the case and things that aren't. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. More importantly, I think you ought to be making up your mind pretty soon. Eh? The detention center's visiting hours are nearly over. Is it that time already? If we are going to accept Soseki-sama's defense request, we have to receive his formal request and go through the proper steps. I guess we're out of time. Now then, would you mind heading out soon? It's time for dinner. Oh, right. Sorry about that. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Soseki-san is waiting for us at the detention center. I guess I've got to go give him my answer. Yeah, alright, let's go do that. This is move? This is move. Cool. Where is that's the detention center. I guess we're going to Briar Road first, even though I had the detention center. Sure, it's the same day, unspecified time on Briar Road. We haven't much time left. Let's head for the detention center. Yes, I guess you're right. Let's see, we need a carriage. Huh? Is something wrong, Naruhodō-sama? In front of Soseki-san's boarding house. Looks like there's some sort of argument going on. Huh? Oh no, these guys! There's two of them! I know thee not, old man. Fall to thy prayers. Who are you calling old man, you ridiculous fop? These two! There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your own philosophy. Oh, like I said, who the hell is Horatio? Stop making sense already! Pardon me. Who are you? There appears to be some sort of dispute here. Allow me to introduce defense attorney Naruhodō Ryūnosuke. Defense attorney, you say? If it's alright with you, perhaps you could tell me what the problem is? I may be a foreigner, but I'm still a defense attorney. Good. Guess I got no choice. I'd be off for now, but... Don't think this is over! Something we should know about this. These two characters only show up during this part, and only this part during this game. And there's no explanation for any of them, except for this guy that we're about to talk to. He apparently is the other housemate that lives in the Gyakuten estate. But we don't know anything about these characters. They just show up, and then they just disappear. Like, even the freaking DGS art book just has them as mysterious men. Like, what the heck? Get thee to a nunnery. Don't count on it! This guy! I'm assuming they're gonna show up in DGS 2 because literally we don't know anything about these two. I hope you're not harmed. Actually, now that I think about it, there were some pictures from DGS 2 and it looks like we're revisiting the Gyakuten estate in DGS 2. I don't know for what reason though. No, allow me to express my gratitude, fair lady from the Orient. What on earth happened? Oh, there are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. My name isn't Horatio either. Pardon me, but are you also a lodger here at Gyakuten-sama's boarding house? Oh, yes indeed I am, fair lady from the Orient. Come to think of it, Gyakuten-san had two lodgers, didn't he? I guess this person must be the other lodger. Do you know the lodger who lives on the second floor of your boarding house? Oh yes, by the name of Natsumi. I debate partner from the bountiful Orient, and a controversialist. Debate? We are entangled in a debate over whether Macbeth or Hamlet is stronger. I like Hamlet. Right. I don't really understand, but it seems that they know each other. In any case, don't allow me to detain you any longer. Fare thee well. Goodbye, mystery man. I don't really understand, but he's gone back to his room. He doesn't seem to know about Soseki-san's incident. Between Soseki-san and that guy we just saw, it must be a pretty troublesome boarding house. Anyway, I'm going to look for a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Soseki-sama is sitting up straight, waiting for us. We better get to the detention center before visiting hours are over. Well, hello Soseki-san. Excuse me, Japanese. Same day at 6:31 p.m. in the detention center, cell number 9. Oh, well now, replacement exchange student Naruhodō. You're back! I, Suseki, am deeply moved! We apologize deeply for our tardiness. No, honestly, don't even worry about that. Please relax. Since coming to this foreign land, I have come to know the gratitude that comes from meeting a fellow countryman. Hail the motherland! You're blowing this out of proportion, Soseki-san. Indeed. The warmth of one's homeland provides the deepest comfort. However, on the other hand... Oh, whoops, I thought this was Soseki, but I guess not. It is friendship that overcomes national borders that is the most meaningful. That's what I think, anyway. It's you! The finished spy! The Sherlock Holmes! Holmes-san, what brings you here? To the question of what brings me here, I have to reply, I came to see, I suppose. What do you mean, Holmes-sama? In that dimly lit room, I was able to read a most curious bit of literature. And then I took the opportunity to expose the curious secret of that dodgy husband and wife. I thought I might swing by on my way home and see what was going on here. Dim room? This room, at least, has a small window, which I think makes it at least a little better than your previous one. But your taste in books is second to none. Thanks for making this an enjoyable day for me. Ah! You scum! The Sherlock Holmes! Why is odd and with kanji? I can't take this anymore. This situation is simply too awful. It was a mistake for someone like me to ever wander over to Great Britain the way I did. First, I'm haunted by ghosts in that cursed boarding house. No doubt tomorrow's trial is cursed as well. Ah! What a cursed life I live! Poor Soseki! What is it, Naruhodō-sama? Come to think of it, Soseki-san, I was pretty sure I heard you say this earlier as well. That cursed boarding house, you said. The declaration of Mr. Mustache over there may be surprisingly accurate. Eh? I suppose you could say it was cursed. Tomorrow's trial? Oh. For some reason I thought Soseki was talking. Tomorrow's trial in that boarding house. What is that supposed to mean? Let's talk to him. The cursed trial. Soseki-san, what you said earlier, what did you mean? The part about tomorrow's trial being cursed. Eh? Could you not ask me that with such a somber look on your face? I simply blurted out those words thoughtlessly. What, really? Jeez, he had me really worried. Don't tell me, it actually is cursed! Well, I mean, we have Baroque we're fighting against. You mean because of the prosecutor? The one they call the Grim Reaper? Grim Reaper? What's that supposed to mean? Explain it, subsequently, within 2 columns and 30 characters! Apparently no defendant has ever made it out okay from a trial he's prosecuted. I'm not sure if that's actually right in English, but in Japanese he does meet the requirements that Soseki makes, so... Oh! That was precisely 2 columns! Exactly 30 characters! Yesterday, Naruhodō-sama won a not guilty verdict. However, after the trial concluded, it seems that the defendant lost his life. Mangadal-san. What? Oh, impressive. So you noticed, did you? We heard it from the chief magistrate. Home-san, I'm sure this can't really be the case, but is Prosecutor Baroque von Zieks taking the lives of defendants he couldn't get declared guilty with his own hands? That's terrifying. You say some pretty amusing things. Eh? Well, he's no murderer, he's nothing more than a prosecutor. Of course, you're right. Obviously, you mustn't say things like that. Well, it's possible that the truth is even more terrifying. What do you mean by that? The truth about the Grim Reaper. Von Zieks is an excellent prosecutor. However, within London courts, it doesn't matter how excellent a prosecutor you are, you can't win every single trial. Ooh, is that right? Soseki-san's obviously pretty happy about that. In the British court system, as you know, the verdict is decided by both the judge and the jury. The judge gives his verdict with his knowledge of the law. The jury gives their verdict with common sense and popular opinion. The defendant is tried with these 2 viewpoints. It's a wonderful system, but popular opinion, in particular, can be quite easily influenced. Easily influenced? Villains and corrupt defense attorneys target that weakness. They fabricate evidence and buy off witnesses. They'll use any means necessary. And if that affects the jurors' decisions, no matter what sort of damning evidence they have, the prosecution can be defeated. But then, that must mean that sometimes incorrect verdicts are... Unfortunately, that's the truth of the matter. What the heck? However, those who are indicted by Von Zieks cannot escape their fate. Eh? Even if they receive a not guilty verdict and are set free, within a span of a few months, all of them vanish. Very mysteriously, of course. Vanish, you say? But how? There are, well, various ways. Being run over by a carriage when crossing the street, falling in the Thames River and drowning. Suddenly and inexplicably succumbing to high fevers, meeting most unfortunate ends at the hands of bandits. How? This is the reality London finds itself in, Mr. Naruhodō. No doubt. All is lost! Soseki's great, but man, he really knocks the voice out of you. Cursed boarding house. When you say cursed boarding house, you mean Gyakuten-san's place, right? What do you mean when you say it's cursed? It's been 1 year since I arrived in Great Britain. I began to notice odd changes in my condition within a week of coming to London. That was pretty fast. When I look all around me, all I can see are foreigners. They're all looking at me and laughing. That's the feeling I got, and so I became frightened of going out. Someone is always watching, from the time I rise until I go to sleep. I barricaded myself in my room, but still that fear wouldn't go away. I'm sure you must feel very forlorn being so far from Japan. That's when I packed up my belongings and moved into that boarding house a week ago. But why did you choose that room? It didn't look very convenient. The rent was cheap. So cheap that it even caught the eye of an impoverished man like me. I asked the real estate agent why the rent was so low. That blasted agent, he replied with a happy-looking smile. That room is cursed. Oops, pardon my slip of the tongue, he said. And then he clammed right up. That rotten agent, if you ask me. If you're going to speak, then finish your sentences. If you're going to not speak, then don't open your mouth to begin with. Yeah, I agree. And evidently it was true. When you say it was true, I guess he's talking about it being cursed. As soon as I moved into that windowless room, I started to have reoccurring dreams of being strangled, waking just as I begin to die. And when I was just walking down the street, someone was stabbed before my very eyes, and I was arrested as a heinous criminal. When it was decided that I would be put on trial, every defense attorney I spoke to turned their backs on me. Forsaken by everyone! I don't care if it's just one person. If there isn't anyone who believe in me from the bottom of their heart. Oh, isn't there anyone who will believe in me from the bottom of their heart? Believe, huh? A reason to believe. Can I ask you something, Holmes-san? Oh, me now? What could it be, Mr. Naruhodō? Do you remember the incident on the RFS Alucray? Alucray. Oh, that. The one with the snake, right? That time, you listened to my side of the story and believed in me. And then you helped us with our investigation. Is that what happened? Why did you believe in me? So in other words, even though you were suspicious, dark-clad Oriental who was hidden at the locked scene of the crime, you mean? Yes, well, I suppose. I don't think I even need to answer that. After all, you said it yourself, right? I'm not the killer. But that could have been a lie, right? Did you not even wonder just a little whether I might have done it? It seems you're misunderstanding one major thing. I don't recall particularly believing what you said. Eh? You see, the only one I ever truly believe in is myself. What do you mean by that? I'm the one who decides that I think is what I think is right. I believe what I want. It has nothing to do with what anyone else is doing. But what if I were to betray you or... If that were to happen, it would simply mean that I wasn't being discerning enough. That's all. Betrayal, that sort of thing, doesn't matter to me. Whether I'm able to believe in someone or not, at the end of the day, it all comes down to whether or not I can believe in myself, and nothing more. Yes, nothing more! Replacement exchange student Naruhodō! Belief in myself.
A defense attorney's worth is defined by how much they can believe in their client. And that means believing in yourself.
Sogi! Asogi. I'm gonna see if I can finish the investigation portion and go right into the trial. Or at the start of the next video. Well, folks, shall we be heading home?
Huh?
Visiting hours are up. The officer will be here any minute. There's a little place nearby that serves the most delicious trout. Can I tempt you?
Is it that time already?
Soseki-san? About tomorrow's trial, if you wouldn't mind, would you let me provide your defense?
Replacement exchange student Naruhodō.
Yesterday was my first time standing in court in this country. The verdict was not guilty, but I lost sight of something important.
Something important?
My client, justice, and truth. What should I believe in and how? But I finally understand. I've decided to trust in myself.
Naruhodō-sama.
I believe that you're not the attacker. And I'll definitely prove that in court.
Replacement exchange student.
And I'll fight my hardest for you, until the very last second. So, would you let me defend you in tomorrow's trial?
I said it from the beginning, did I not? I wish to leave my fate in the hands of my fellow countrymen, who will listen properly to what I say.
Soseki-san. Mr. Naruhodō, your heart was set on this from the start. You just needed one day, today, for the rest of you to catch up with it. Aww. Yes, I think you're right. I get the feeling that I ended up taking a little detour to get to this point, though. Susato-san.
Yes.
Tomorrow, will you stand by my side again and assist me?
Yes, of course. I said as much this morning. After all, I am your legal aid.
Susato's so good. Why is this cast so good? Oh, this is so good. I'm actually really happy coming back into doing this again. The hit my heart sustained in yesterday's trial still lingers there heavily even now. But even so, I'm going to stop looking back at it now. I have people who believe in me, Asogi and Home-san. So I must also try to believe in myself, for the sake of other things I believe in. For the sake of this man who is completely and utterly alone, without a friend in the world. I'll fight tomorrow, with everything I have. You go, Naruhodō, you go! Suzuku. Is it Suzuku? Yeah. To be continued. Great, I'm glad we made it, and made it on good time, too! Awesome, it's like, this is probably be like exactly 30 minutes, isn't it? So, we're gonna head right into the trial in the next video then, so I'll see you guys then!